Hello! Hello, everybody. And my music isn't playing. There we go. Hello. We're gonna be doing some more art this time, like we do every Saturday. We gotta finish this guy, and then this should be the last of the rabble characters that I've been working on. And we can actually do some more fun things. We got some adjustments to make first, though. So let's kind of clean up some of the lines, awkwardness here. And you know what? I'm thinking we should give him kind of a broader chin. Just a little bit. So our warrior character is a little more Chad-drawled. Let's not make the old cheekbone so concave. He kind of looked like a Bogdanov there. But yeah, that should be good for that. I also kind of want to tweak the arms a little bit because they're not really in a great accurate position to how they normally would hang. So normally when you're holding something on your shoulder like that, the elbow is going to be kind of outward. More like so. And then we'll make some perspective adjustments here. And draw in the rest of the arm. It's not... Hello, we don't need a guide. Okay. Can I get on the correct layer here? There we go. Actually, let's see. This should be more like so, and I'm up here bumping my webcam at the top of my screen. I've been having a lot of issues trying to get enough space on my workspace to just do all the movement I need. I got too many things in the way. Let's make this a little more of an extreme curve here. It just looks a little awkward. Honestly, most of this could probably be just moved upward. Let's kind of take all this part of the arm. I'll just kind of shift it like so. Alright, let's tweak the hang of his little sleeve here.
Through woods of shadow, damp and deep, a conjurer's vow they swore to keep.
Actually, the hilt looks too long.
They weave their lies beneath the moon's accusing
On that end.
Oh, pack of eight-legged blights so grim, by staff and chant they'll silence them, for redemption calls their fates entwined in questing hearts. Courage they'll find. Their cloaks were threadbare, their souls were torn, through failure's ash their mission born. Spells on lips and lanterns low, they track the webs where shadows grow. Mandibles clicking, the nests they grow. A clattering choir where dread winds blow. Redeemer's tread as quiet as mist, through tangled woods of venomous twist.
And that's better.
Oh, pack of eight.
Now let's do a little work on this arm too.
By staff and chant they'll silence them, for redemption calls their fates.
The way it's just kind of hanging straight down looks a little too rigid. So what we'll do is we'll angle this down. Then we'll angle this one in.
Oh, pack of eight-legged blights so grim, by staff and chant they'll silence them, for redemption calls their fates entwined in questing hearts. Courage they'll find.
That's better. That's a lot better, actually. Looks a lot more natural. Alright. I think we're good to start throwing some colors on here. You know what? The hand should be gloved. That means here it's only going to be the only place where skin is really showing. You know what? I was briefly thinking we should add some kind of collar on here for like the padding underneath, but I think it's fine without it. Let's use this color for...
Ponyboy Horse says, Dice Bag fact.
Hello.
Dice Bag likes eating fish sandwiches cooked from frozen in the microwave.
I do not eat fish sandwiches at all, Ponyboy. Fish does not belong on a sandwich. But welcome. How's it going with you? We're just doing more artwork, of course.
Ponyboy Horse says, fish belongs in the water. Dinsdale Piranha says,
You don't like fish?
never had a po' boy before. Ponyboy Horse says, I obby been working to the bone.
What the heck is a po' boy, Dinsdale? This does not ring a bell. And man, you and me both, Ponyboy, had overtime yesterday. It was not fun. Exceedingly boring, actually.
Dinsdale Piranha says, type of sandwich, usually found down in the south.
Oh, a southern thing. They got some weird stuff down there.
Dinsdale Piranha says, usually we'll have shrimp, oyster, maybe fried fish.
Shrimp and oyster on a sandwich. That's kind of weird. I gotta say. But like you said, it is southern, I guess. Not that long ago, he had southerners telling Japanese people to
Dinsdale Piranha says,
put peanuts in their Coke.
one or the other. Not at the same time.
I'm gonna be real with you, that doesn't make it better.
Ponyboy Horse says, apparently the rednecks do peanuts and Coke. Ponyboy Horse says, I refuse to try it.
It just ain't right. Once I get done with this guy, I want to start designing another mythic creature, by the way. I feel like I need to have a little bit more to work with on those. Just to kind of have a little bit more of the world fleshed out. So I can give people a little bit of an expectation of what they can find in the rest of the world when I put out the first release. Of course, the full write-ups are going to have to wait. Mythic creatures take too much detail to really finish a bunch of them for the first run, but they'll kind of each get their own mini books with their regions and stuff that they rule over. I'm not sure if I want to have like multiple ones in the same book or what. Or maybe I'll release them all individually, digitally, and then kind of put them all together when I actually print something. But one way or another, we'll get more of them. I've already got quite a few designed. They're just... Hiccup's coming. They're just not fully fleshed out. Alright, girl, you've served your purpose. This sword edge is looking jagged. Let's clean that up a little bit. Fortunately, CSP makes it very easy to do straight lines. All right. And then the hilt is the leather color. And so are the boots. All right. Let's see. We could probably trim this edge just a little bit. Okay. I was wondering why it wasn't doing much. It's because I was on the wrong layer. Mark it on the bingo cards. Dice bag draws on wrong layer. All right. I think pretty much good to start rendering this boy.
This guy got a tiny waist.
He's just long and wiry. Bro is stretched out.
Ponyboy Horse says, brother needs a solid diet.
Let's see. I'm trying to not be so detailed with my shading. I keep running into this problem, but trying to mimic the Pokemon style means not overdoing the shading, and I keep forgetting to do that. It goes against my instincts. I'll add some right there. And some there. And we'll put most of that in shadow, I guess. Let's put some over here. Not the whole leg, but some of it. All right. I guess we should put some here on the blade. And there. And some here too. We'll put the neck in shadow. Oh, I am missing some color there. All right. I think that'll work. You know what? This line right here probably doesn't need to be there. I'll get rid of that. Okay, now let's get some highlights on here. I had quite a week at work this time. Like on Monday, right off the bat, it was raining real hard. On my way to work, I had the windshield wipers going full blast. And one of them, the one right in front, right on the driver's side, like loosened up and started going off to the side, And it was like, it was literally going off my windshield, off the whole side of the car. That was fun, trying to drive with that. And it almost did it again yesterday. I made sure to slow it down that time so it wasn't so crazy in its motions. Gonna have to go and actually tighten that up sometime when I think about it, besides right now. I would have a lot less problems in my life if I actually thought about them more, but I tend to forget about them when they're not immediately in front of me. And the whole week was pretty dang boring. Our machines, the lasers, use gases to help cut through the metal, and also to keep the slag from blowing back up into the nozzle and getting all over the, what do you call that? The lenses and mirrors inside of it. And let's see, I think Tuesday we came in and they were like, hey, we don't have any nitrogen. We've got a problem with the nitrogen system in it. We can't get any nitrogen to the machines until it's fixed. And wouldn't you know it, like most of the stuff that we needed to run uses nitrogen. So we had to try and make do with oxygen as much as we could, which was not always a great idea. I had one part that I tried to convert to oxygen, and let's see. It's this thing where it's just like a tube. It's a metal tube, and you just put a bunch of holes in it with the laser. Like 5,000 holes the laser puts in this thing. Row by row, all the way around it. And I got like the first row done, and we're supposed to, you know, go in there and check the size of the holes, and they're very small holes, so we have to use like little pins that are calibrated to like 20 thousandths of an inch or so around there. And when I got in there to check it after running the first row with oxygen, there was straight up smoke coming out the top of the thing. And I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't run this thing with oxygen. Maybe I should put something else on there instead. So that's how that went. Other stuff seemed to work fine with oxygen. And of course, just about everything we had to do was some kind of long-running job. So I spent a lot of time sitting and waiting on the machines. Just being a babysitter, basically. Which normally I don't really have a problem with. It's just that I don't have much to do recently. Normally I'd like take the time to do some kind of work on Crytures, but practically everything I need to do with Crytures is stuff I have to do on the PC at this point. Can't really edit my website or PDFs on my phone. So I couldn't really get anything important done. That was fun. I feel like we need to add some shadow right here. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright. Oh, the hair. Let's get some highlights here. In fact, let's get the whole side of this head, this face in here. Probably want to reduce that a little bit. It's looking a little extreme. I'll put a little bit of shine on the blade here, and we will enhance that in a second later. Alright, let's start doing the softening here.
Ponyboy Horse says, "This guy looks like he kills goblins."
I mean, he definitely kills things, but we don't really have goblins in the Crytures world, per se. This guy is
Ponyboy Horse says.
a
You need
member
to
of
get
the
goblins.
militia. I don't know if we need goblins. I don't think goblins really make great Pokemon. I have made a conscious decision to not
Ponyboy
include
Horse says.
non-human
There are
races.
two types of fantasy goblin enjoyers. Those that want to kill them, and the others.
Yeah, I know about the others. Which one are you, Ponyboy? Hmm?
Ponyboy Horse says. I want to murder all goblins.
Hmm. All of them, huh?
Ponyboy Horse says. Death to all knife heirs.
Well, you'll be happy to know there are no knife ears in the Crytures world. Like I said, I have made the conscious decision to make humans the only sapient life forms, other than maybe mythic creatures, but they're a special case. So we have no non-human races, because that would make things way too complicated, to be honest.
Ponyboy Horse says. Any snow walkers. And moon jumpers. Water walkers. Sandy feet.
I'm not sure what any of those are in your vocabulary, but we have herdkin, we have rushmen, we have sea folk, we have Isleborn, we have marchmen, and vale dwellers. Those are the current options a person has for their heritage. But they're all humans. Although I do want to add some more
Worrying Hex 8 CJ
versions later.
Florixv says. AI view say.
AI viewers, wow. We got AI viewers this time. That's a new one. Still from streamboo.com.
Ponyboy Horse says. Bye bye bot.
Goodbye.
Ponyboy Horse says. AI viewers is a new one.
Yeah, exactly. To the bots, I say,
Why are you gay?
Even best
Who
viewers
says
are
I'm gay?
being outsourced to AI.
You are gay.
I can't believe the bots are losing their jobs to AI. Wow. truly comes for everybody. Alright. I think our coloring is about right. Now I'm going to double up the overlay layer, the highlights. At least on the parts where it's not showing up very well. Alright, let's see, we need the color of the line art here. Actually, one thing, I feel like this guy's chest needs to be more pronounced here. I should make him look a little more beefy. Whoops, I got the wrong color in there. Oh yeah, you might notice that the channel points have actually have an icon now. I did that right before the stream. They are now actual dice. Oh yeah, we need to get the gold outlines here. Let's see, I mostly just do parts where it's up against the edge or something else. Alright, let's not get carried away here. Let's see, did I use a different color on the blade? No, I did not. Alright. Now we can actually work on the face. I've been trying to get a lot of playtesting done recently because a lot of the stuff I have left to do really needs to be tested out. So, you know, I gots to do it at some point, so might as well do it now before I start publishing anything. And now that I've got like a whole system basically worked out that lets me do things procedurally, it makes it a lot easier to run the adventures just whenever I feel like it. Which is great because that's what it's meant to do. I'm at least fulfilling my design goal there. But it's also just making me want to do it more. Like I'm actually having fun with it instead of it being work. I'm like looking at my conjurers and being like, man, this one really needs a new creature. And since I have all the mechanics and stuff just to use whenever, it means I can just choose to take them out and they can go and like hunt down creatures that they want without any really other reason besides just I want to do it. And that's perfectly workable. So I think that'll help players really kind of engage with the thing on their own terms rather than, you know, wait for the DM to tell them what they need to do. Actually having the rules for how things work out at their fingertips should encourage them to kind of take initiative. And I also gave a test to the social mechanics I was working out. And the party was able to convince some outlaws to hand over some of their stolen goods since they were outnumbered and did not really want to get into a fight with a bunch of conjurers. Wasn't a huge test since it was pretty well stacked in the player's favor. But I guess that's when you do it the most anyways. Well, let's give the belt a little bit of a shine here. That doesn't look so flat. Whoops. I'm just gonna widen this thing up just a tad so it doesn't look quite so scrawny. I think we'll be done with this guy at this point. But the whole adventure templates that I've been working on too are also very useful for just making things up on the fly. I tried one out for the first time. Well, not in general for the first time, but that specific one I tried out for the first time. And it actually was pretty helpful in just making up a narrative without any thought ahead of time. It kind of makes me want to do some scripted videos on like the actual mechanics of the game. I feel like I need to start doing more of those rather than just doing all lore videos. You know, actually show people how the game is played. Of course, I have a lot of basic mechanics that I need to get through before I can really get into like the nitty-gritty of the whole, like how to procedurally generate adventures and stuff like that. Alright, let's see. We gotta start working on the mythic creature that I've been thinking about. So, the main area that I've been working on that's going to be with the focus of the first release is supposed to have a region to the south of it that's basically empty, or at least unsettled for the most part. And I have not created a mythic creature for this one yet. So this is the one I want to do because it's going to be probably one of the more important ones, and I have been neglecting it because it's not especially special, you know? It's basically mostly a plains region. We're gonna make this pretty big. This is gonna be a big mythic creature here. We're gonna make ourselves like a big ass thunderbird kind of thing. I got some ideas on what kind of little design elements we can include in this. But first, I need to get an idea of what a big ass bird actually looks like. Let me look up some references real quick. Oh, here's one. That's a pretty good pose. Let's put this off to the side here. Let's see, can we flip this? Where's the flip tool? There we go. I want them looking the other way. Whoop. Birds are kind of weird with their legs. They've got their freaking knees up here. Like they got the pelvis connecting like here, and then their knees are up in their body. It makes it look like their legs are backwards. I'll just throw in a little bit of like a tuft there to kind of stylize it a little bit. We'll add in details later. I just want to get the basic shape figured out here before we go into adding like design elements and stuff. In fact, this curve should probably be more pronounced here. The plan for this guy is that like his feathers are going to like trail off into clouds, right? Is going to be air and lightning type. And then we're going to give him kind of like antlers kind of shaped like a lightning bolt. Then they'll have like little points coming off here.
Adam SH8BF says, what's the deal with this guy?
Hello, Adam. This guy is a new mythic creature that I'm working on. It's basically a giant thunderbird.
Ponyboy Horse says, what's the deal with airplane food?
I don't know, Ponyboy. I've never had airplane food. I don't fly.
Ponyboy Horse says, I never had airplane food either.
I guess that's why you're asking what the deal with it is, huh?
Dinsdale Piranha says, they don't even give you meals anymore. Unless it's like an international flight. Now it's just snacks, and a drink. Or you have to buy it.
Well, that's the kind of stuff that happens when everybody can afford a thing nowadays. Gets diluted. You know what? I feel like this talon here probably wouldn't even see the back part of it. Actually, this one's probably too long here.
Adam SH8BF says, how big is it, for scale?
How big? Big enough to ride. So let's say you got a human up here.
Ponyboy Horse says, that's what she said.
Human would probably be like so. So he's a big boy. He is a mythic creature after all. I still need a name for this thing, though. I haven't really thought of that yet. With mythic creatures, I always give them like a title more so than a name. Like we have the Verdant King, the Alpha Amalgam, the Star Watcher.
Daladakarai Pop says,
The Midnight Matron.
Big Birdie.
Dale! How's it going, Dale? Long time no see. It is in fact a big birdie. We might need to kind of change the dimensions on the canvas. Probably make it shorter and wider here so I can fit the trail.
Daladakarai Pop says. Got them grippers.
He's gonna grip something alright. But we'll do like so. Like I was saying before, we want to have it so...
Adam SH8BF says. Are you making a mythic creature for each of the Crytures ethnithies?
No. We make them based on region. So this guy is basically going to be the neighbor to the one that I'm currently going to release first. I want to have this guy kind of made up and fleshed out a bit so I can kind of include it in the lore in like a lesser detailed form before I actually get around to doing a fully fleshed out version.
Adam SH8BF says. How many regions in the first wave of Crytures? Daladakarai Pop says.
In the first wave?
Dude, what is that prot emu in your reference there, LOL?
Well, I didn't grab the reference for the emu, but I guess it's just being attacked by this giant eagle thing. Obviously, I got it for the big bird whose pose I am referencing. But when I get the first release out, there's only going to be one region that's fully fleshed out, because these things are going to take a lot of effort to go into detail on. And that's going to be one of the main things that I
Adam SH8BF
release
said,
later.
I don't know what else to call it but wave.
Wave? Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure what to call it either, to be honest. I'll have to come up with some cool industry sounding term, I suppose. But there's quite a few regions that I have like in mind that I will be making as like the very next thing once I get the first thing out. And those are all gonna come with a bunch of new creatures that are specific to them and stuff. And some reused ones, of course. Like this guy's region is going to have definitely Nimbas and their family. As far as regions go, I've got this one, which is going to be the Restless Plains. It's basically just a stormy plains area that bridges the first region and the region with the capital city. So these are gonna have a lot of like people moving through this area for trade purposes and whatnot. Then there's one that's supposed to be kind of to the north of the Vivid Vale. Let's see, what did I call that one? Something like the Howling Woods or something like that. I don't remember. That one's supposed to have... Let's see. That has the mythic creature here, the Midnight Matron. I did a full illustration of this one too. Let's see if I can pull this one up. Oh, come on. Load the images. Oh yeah. The Wildermoon Woods, that's what it's called. And it's gonna have like a lot more unusual sub-creatures as the norm. It's going to be very, you know, more of a spooky type of region. And some of these regions are going to be very, like, kind of unnatural. Like, the Wildermoon Woods is going to be like a... It'll have like a extended night period. Whereas with the Vivid Vale, it basically exists in a perpetual spring and summer state. That'll probably be roughly true for the Restless Plains as well. I also need to do some subterranean regions. We got one of the subterranean guys done already. This one is the Star Watcher. I designed him a long time ago and then he got a redesign. Because I kinda changed up the way I wanted to do things. So the subterranean places are where you get some of the more weirder things. And he is going to have a region called, let's see, what is it? The Deep Maw, I think it was what I called it. And that's going to be a fun part of the design because that's when I'm going to start designing like humans that are a little more abnormal. Like the people of the Deep Maw are going to be kind of like not like the surface dwellers. Probably be either pale or grayish skinned or something like that. Alright, I think I got a pretty good idea of the basic shape of this guy. You know what though, this whole spot here, I think we need to reduce the prominence of this thing here. Make it more in line with the other stuff. So it actually curves like so. Alright, I think it's about time I started using a smaller brush on this guy, so I can work out some of the details a little better.
Patty's Parlor says, has rated this stream.
Patty! How's it going, Patty? Bringing us a Rumble raid. Rumble's been kinda dead recently. Alright, looks like some people are starting to make their way in. Hello, Rumblers? Are you there? Is the raid following through? I don't know if anybody's there.
Paradise Parlor Games says, what up, nerds?
Hello, Patty. Thanks for the raid. We are working on a new mythic creature right now.
Ponyboy Horse says, Geronimo butchers his name.
Geronimo butchers a lot of names.
Patty's Parlor says, wish I could have brought more over.
That's alright. Rumble has been awfully slow for me recently. I'm just glad to see some people showing up.
Patty's Parlor says, missed you disciples, how've you been?
Disciples? Answer the man. I haven't been calling chat disciples much. I really should use that term more, shouldn't I? Otherwise, why even make it? So this thing we're working on here is basically like a Thunderbird. Dude's gonna be air and lightning types. As you can see, his wings are trailing off into clouds. We were just discussing some of my future plans for when the actual first thing gets released here. Which I still need to come up with a term for, like, what do we call a Crytures release? Or a group of releases, perhaps. Let's see. Drawing wings is not my forte, by the way. I kinda hate them. Let's see. Question is, how much detail do I really want to get into on the feathers? Maybe we'll just kinda do like so. Maybe have them curve like that towards the end to show that they're dissolving in the cloud. Let's make this stick out. Then we'll do the feathers on this side. Gotta make it more pronounced like that. Actually, let's count this up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 feathers at the top. And we got 6 feathers just on the visible part of this, so that's way too much. We gotta spread those out. I'm gonna try putting this on a different layer so I don't mess up the rest of the sketch that's already there. We can kinda suss out where the rest of it would be. Kinda like so. I guess that'll work.
Adam SH8VF says, perhaps the wedges need to be in line with the feathers.
Let's go ahead and actually add the other feathers here so we can get a better sense of the depth and everything. I think that's working out alright. More or less. It does really seem like the angle on these top feathers is not quite right. Like it needs to be more foreshortened. Like more of the top of the wing should be visible. Yeah, I think that's better. Of course, once I finish the thing up, I'll probably have all kinds of flaws that pop out at me that I'll have to address. What else can we do to this guy? We gotta clean this up here. I feel like there is something else I wanted to do with the feathers. Let me check
Patty's
something real
Parlor
quick.
says, flaws, bleh. Just ordered proofs for my White Dwarf summer stuff this year and I can't wait to see the blemishes after the fact deepers.
It's always how it is, isn't it? I always like to sit on a piece until the next morning so I can look it over and with fresh eyes. Let's see, he could probably use like just some more detail in the design.
Patty's Parlor says, yeah, I did that. And had MRS Parlor look as well. I'm pretty sure we're good.
You should be. I'm gonna give him a little bit of like, almost like a mane of feathers here. Kind of a crest. Maybe not so much a crest. I think the antlers do enough for that, we don't need something else on his head, really. Let's give him kind of a... something on the chest here. just to kind of break up the design. Yeah, but we won't show as much on this side of it. Hmm. I'm not too sure about that little addition. You know what? That looks better. I think I'm liking what I've got here. It's just, it feels like he needs something else, and I'm not entirely sure what. This is the fun part of design work, where you just kind of sit there and look at it and try to think of things. Let's try this. I think that looks a little better. Just make him more fluffy on the upper body. In general. Let's not fill the eye in all the way like that. We'll just leave it like so. You know what else we should do is put some tail feathers on this guy, besides just what's already there.
Through the shadows we tread with care. Conjurers unite, we're well aware. In the heart of them all lies grim despair. Eldritch fear makes us all beware. Mystic runes glow in the midnight air. We chant our spells with fiery flare. Echoes of darkness all around. In the abyss, our courage is found. Light the torches, we'll find our way. No evil force will make us sway. Together we rise against the fray. In deep Ma's belly, we hold our ray.
What do we think, guys? Do we have any opinions on the current state of the design here?
From the ancient past,
Chat, Disciples, is anybody there you still?
we hold fast to magic unsurpassed. Our sorcery summoned ever fast.
I feel like it'll look a lot more interesting once I add some lightning to it, which will be done in the actual coloring part.
Hattie's Parlor says, looking really good to me. Dinsdale Piranha says, nope. Died. Sorry. Hattie's Parlor says, I'm drawing myself right now.
Good to hear.
Is raised with sacred light. Banish all
Always nice when
our sight.
we've got other people doing art.
We fight the blight
Dinsdale, I hope you get over your death.
this night.
But since you're still talking, does the design look alright? I think I've done about as much of it as I can think of.
Hattie's Parlor says, might be cool to add some of the wispy feathers on the breast.
You know, I thought about that.
Dinsdale Piranha says, yeah, looks fine to me.
I thought about something like that, but I feel like that's just gonna complicate the design way too much. Like if we did like not too keen on that. Maybe we could throw on like a coloration pattern or something when I get to the coloring part. Let's see, I still haven't thought up a name for this guy. Maybe I'll just give him a placeholder name. I'll call him the Storm on Wings right now. We'll mull that over. Later on. Now he's supposed to have some agent creatures too. So he needs like some little guys that are kind of themed like him. Maybe we'll just kind of do like a little storm cloud or something.
Through the mist, the path is set. A conjurer's oath, no chance to regret. Vivid veil where the shadows gleam.
Give him like a cutesy little sad place. Maybe an antenna here. Kind of like the bird itself. Actually, let's keep going with that. Extend it a little bit. I got an idea. We can have like an evolved form. And then it'll have like a whole mohawk like this.
Streams with laughter laced, the valley breaks with ancient grace, yet cunning eyes.
Let's move that over a little bit.
A fairy king's call, the rhythm, the song.
And these guys will be his little minions. Alright, I don't like that little knob there. We're gonna get rid of that. We're going to reduce the size of that eye over here. Let's make his face a little bit wider too. Alright, I think that'll work for him. I should probably use a much smaller resolution for this guy. $2,000 ought to be good. You know what? I'm getting ideas for his evolved forms too. I'm thinking, given the shape of him, he's kind of a wormy shape. So what if we turned it into like a cloud serpent as it goes through its metamorphoses? No, not that. Create a new one.
Through woods of shadow, damp and deep, a conjurer's vow they swore to keep. The spider's brood, they weave their lies beneath the moon's accusing eye. O pack of eight-legged blights, so grim, by staff and chant they'll silence them, for redemption calls their fates entwined in questing hearts. Courage they'll find. Their cloaks were threadbare, their souls were torn, through failure's ash their mission born. Spells on lips and lanterns low, they track the webs where shadows grow. mandibles clicking.
Probably tone down that size so it kind of
A clattering
tapers off a little more.
winds blow. Redeemer's tread as quiet as mist through tangled woods of venomous twist. Oh, pack of eight-legged blights so grim, by staff and chant they'll silence them, for redemption calls their fates entwined in questing hearts. Courage they'll find. Each strike of fire, each rune etched proud, each cry for hope, each vow aloud. They drove the darkness from its well, where spiders brood and nightmares dwell.
I'll give him the spike here, see how that looks.
Oh, pack of eight-legged blights so grim, by staff and chant they'll silence them, for redemption calls their fates entwined in questing hearts. Courage they'll find.
Maybe we should retain the kind of sad face in the second form. Let him get angry when he's fully evolved. Like, let's kind of give him like little fins. Yeah, probably don't want to go that big with it. If I even keep this little feature. That looks a little better. Let's see if we can do maybe like a multiple horn thing going on here. Or split horn. You know what, that actually might help it. It's like so. What do the disciples think? Anybody want to weigh in on this little thing? I feel like it's kind of got awkward middle evolution energy, which isn't a deal breaker, but it's not ideal. It'll make more sense once I do the full one. Let's save this guy and then we'll make a third guy.
Jap52136 says. Middle of O awkwardness is better personally cause it's like the puberty years for the creature.
You think so, Jeff? I could see that being a thing. Question is, am I going to be able to make the full one actually look good? Because it's looking a little awkward right now. The idea was to kind of give it like wings. If we don't make it look so fat, it'll be a little better. Give it a little more space for the wings here.
Chop Parents 0 says. Hello.
Chopperins? Hello there, how's it going? We're working on some designs for my monster collecting tabletop RPG here.
Chop Parents 0 says. It's going well, just drawing.
Ah, good. Another artist. What are you drawing over there, if you don't mind me asking?
Chop Parents Zero says. An OC of mine.
Gotcha. No, I feel like I need to make his face more snake-like. Actually, let's just kind of draw it out normally, and then I'll apply the kind of cloudy look to it.
Ponyboy Horse says. Dice Bag fact, Dice Bag's favorite drink is Mountain Dew Code Red. But only after leaving it uncapped for a day so it loses carbonation.
You know what? Code Red is actually pretty good. I do like me some Code Red. Only problem is, like, I can never find any place that has the zero sugar version.
Ponyboy Horse says. Okay, listen what? Ponyboy Horse says. Code Red.
Code Red? Yeah, what's wrong with Code
Horse
Red?
Says. Zero sugar?
Yeah, zero sugar.
Ponyboy Horse says. I'm going to bed, see you next week.
Why? Because of the Code Red? Because your dice bag fact actually turned out to be partially true? You know what, I feel like his face is looking better after this little makeover.
Dinsdale Piranha says. I'm a dip. Thanks for the stream, Dice Bag. Have a good weekend,
Dinsdale.
Dice Bag and chat.
We'll see you around next time. Right? Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. Getting his body to look like actual clouds is kind of rough without making him look also like he has a bunch of fat folds.
Dinsdale Piranha says. I'm already dead. So by next time, I'll probably be decomposing.
Alright. I think this little hangy down part is probably like the last thing I need to address here before he stops looking like a fatso. Or at least as much of one. Though honestly, I'm really not feeling the wings either. Is there a way we can maybe make these actually look like they're floating? Kind of worried that they're gonna just look like arms, which it kind of looks like already. You know what? New idea. Oh. I don't know, guys. I'm not sure if this design is gonna work out. I might have to change it pretty radically here.
Jaff52136 says, could you on another layer draw the wings like they are on the side, move it to the wanted back position, then erase the not needed parts?
Yeah, it's just that I'm not sure if I can make the wings look good. At least not in the way that I'm trying to. I feel like I really need to do my best to make the body taper pretty heavily. That way the puffiness of him being a cloud doesn't make him look too fat. Now it looks like he has boobs. Oh, I got an idea. Maybe I'll adapt the middle evolution design to fit this too. What if we just made him a straight up flying serpent? Not a cloud-bodied serpent, but have like the... give him like a mane of clouds. I'll make him look a little more like mythological. I want to change the canvas size here. Let's see. Kind of shrink this down a tad. And then we'll add in some puffs on his tail too. How do I feel about this? Maybe we'll even give him like a bit going back like so, down his back.
Jap52136 says, love the main thing going on.
That's good. Much easier than trying to make the entire body clouds. Let's see. I feel like I've used this kind of pattern on a snake before. Let me check out my other snake creature here. Okay, yeah, Viper does have that kind of same pattern. We don't want to reuse that. Maybe something like that. Maybe it should be the other way. You know what? He is supposed to be a lightning type too, so maybe we'll give it more like a jagged pattern. I think that does kind of drive home the lightning typing a little better. think the main thing that it could use right now is just that his body is kind of short. See if we can kind of extend it a bit. That's a bit better. I'll just do a little cleanup. So my line art guy isn't confused about what's supposed to be going on, and I pass it off to him. Sorry, Patron, this one's gonna be a little sloppy. But that's what we pay the assistant for. You know what? That don't look so bad. Alright, let's save this guy. And I'll take another pass at that middle one. Let's see. Let's get rid of the fins and whatnot, since we're not giving it wings. I think we'll put like a little bit of the the snake body in the back here.
Patty's Parlor says,
Actually.
stepped away for a little.
Well, welcome back, Patty. We've been busy designing little agents for our big bird. Let's see, let's take this whole part. We'll kind of take the remaining clouds and shrink them down. Let's see. This part here looks a little too much more like a arm or a fin or something. Let's get nerf that a little bit here. You know, I think since the design has changed so much, we're gonna go ahead and give this guy the angry face.
Patty's Parlor says, The new piano music is pretty good. Sounds like you generated some new tracks.
This one? This is an old track. I've been using this one for a while. That reminds me, I meant to put a new one on there earlier, but I totally slipped my mind. I've been thinking a lot about the music from old PC games. There's something about them that has like some kind of quality that I can't quite put my finger on. Maybe it's just nostalgia. I saw somebody post like one of the StarCraft songs from the first game, and I was like, yes, that is exactly what I'm thinking of. I don't know what it is, but that's it. Need to go on a hunt for more of that stuff. All right. I think we will forego having a pattern on this.
Did you see the new StarCraft miniatures war game?
Nope. Actually, maybe I did. It kind of rings a bell. I don't really follow miniature games a whole lot. I may have seen somebody talk about it on the Twitters. Now, why doesn't Blizzard just make a turn-based tactics game if they're gonna do stuff like that? They're already a game company.
Patty's Parlor says, seems like it's staying pretty close to the old games. Models look good.
Wonder how much they can do with it though, since I don't know, StarCraft is kind of
Ahmed Khan
pretty well
76
defined
says,
already.
TP Viewers stream there's RG Dice Baggery.
What's that? Top viewers again. This is the second bot I've come across today. Ban that guy. He is gone. The first guy we got in here was offering AI viewers. AI viewers. So even the bots are losing their jobs to AIs. Crazy times we live in. Alright, let's see what we got. I think it's about time we can start wrapping things up. We got a little dude, middle dude, and big dude. And then really big dude. Alright. I think I've been going for long enough. I need to get off here and do some other things. I got special music tomorrow for church. Singing America the Beautiful, and I don't know if I can handle the key, but we're gonna try. So I need to get some practice in. Let's see.
Patty's Parlor says, yeah, and the Twitch eco guy or whatever telling streamers to set their own viewer caps to combat bots.
Oh. Twitch. I have to wonder what Twitch would be like with competent leadership. It has a lot of good things going for it, but then there's the CEO.
Patty's Parlor says, thanks for the stream, Dice Bag. Have a wonderful day at church, friend. So glad I could hang out tonight.
Glad you could too, and thanks for the raid. And all you guys for hanging out over there on... Let's see, we had people on Twitch and Rumble and on YouTube too. It was a surprisingly busy stream.
Patty's Parlor says, miss playing Crytures with you. I'm sorry I've been so busy, I haven't even been able to play my own games.
Yeah, I know
Link
how it
says,
is.
I've received 100 messages today with Restream chat.
Thank you, Geronimo. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of solo testing recently. It's actually getting a lot easier to just pull things out of my butt since I've worked on a lot of the adventure
Patty's Parlor
templates and
says,
stuff.
but it's so cool to see you chugging along. You always motivate me to keep grinding.
I'm glad somebody's getting motivated. My motivation's kind of coming and going there. I'm at a point where there's a lot of things where I just... Like, it's all writing, right? I have to write a bunch of stuff. And writing is the part I don't like to do. So yeah. That's how it be. Anyways, I think I'll be signing off here, so... Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Hopefully we'll see you all next week. We'll probably be doing the same thing. I don't think there's anything weird going on next week. Thankfully I'll get a freaking Monday off though, because work has been a little rough. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!